Hello, 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 hello. Hello, my courageous, confident, successful, money-making women. And you are. And you're going to be even more so. I will tell you that I have a jam-packed session for you tonight, and you're going to be writing like crazy. But I will tell you, you're going to learn a lot, and it's going to be eye-opening. You know, have you ever kind of felt like a hamster on a wheel, just rapidly churning your way through life, but somehow going nowhere? Like I have felt like that. And, you know, all the while caught up in a loop of constant negative internal chatter and judgment that never stops. Internal means what you're doing to yourself. Internal chatter and judgment that never stops. A little voice telling you that you're stupid or you're not good enough or you can't do it. I don't know. Has that ever happened to you? Well, we're going to change that. We are going to change that. There are two kinds of talk. There are two kinds of talk that we engage in every day. You engage in it every day. Every human being does. It's been studied. Two kinds of talk. Talking to ourselves, number one, and talking to others, number two. You know, you might be one of those who may insist that I don't talk to myself. But in fact, most of the conversations you have on any given day are with yourself, all enjoyed in the solitude and privacy of your own head, of what happens here. Whether you're introvert or extroverted, creative or practical, you spend huge amounts of your time talking to you. You do it while exercising, you do it while eating, while reading, while walking, while arguing, while praying, while having sex. But you didn't think I knew about that. And you do it while you're working. And yes, you even talk to yourself in your sleep. And you're probably actually talking to yourself right now. Don't worry. Don't worry. It doesn't mean you're crazy. Or perhaps it means we're all a little crazy. I'm not sure. Either way, we all do it. So, not to worry. But I want you to settle in, and I want you to write some notes and listen to what I have to say, because this is mind-blowing information I'm going to share with you. Studies show that we have over 50,000 thoughts per day. Everyone has over 50,000 thoughts per day. Think of all the things you say to yourself that you'd rather not, or that you try to overcome or defeat. The latest in neuroscience and psychology adds weight to the idea that the talk you engage in has a profound effect on the quality of your life and the level of success you will achieve. Professor Will Hart of the University of Alabama conducted many experiments in which participants either recalled or experienced a positive, negative, or neutral event. They found that people who described the neutral event in ways that suggested it was ongoing actually felt more positive. And when they described a negative event in the same way, they experienced more negativity. In simple terms, the language you use to describe your circumstances determines the experience that you're going to have. What you're saying to yourself will determine the outcome of whatever it is that you're doing. And what you're saying to yourself dramatically affects how you deal with your life and your business, and how you confront problems, both big and small. The connection between what you say and how you feel have been known for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. Philosophers like Hedinger and Wittgenstein and Gadamer all knew of the importance and significance of language in your life. The harmony between thought and reality can be found in the words or the language that's taking place, mostly in your head. The good news, studies have continually found that positive self-talk can and will dramatically improve your mood, boost your confidence, increase your productivity, and make you successful so much faster. In fact, as evidenced by Professor Hart in a study, it can be one of the key components to a happy, successful life and business. Your positive self-talk. The bad news is the reverse is also true. Negative self-talk can not only put you in a bad mood, it can leave you with feelings of hopelessness. It can make small problems seem bigger than they are, and even create problems where none exist when it's negative self-talk. Here's the breaking news. Your self-talk is holding you back in ways you can't even begin to imagine. In ways you can't even begin to imagine. So if you're wondering what is holding you back, part of it is what you're saying, what you're thinking and saying to yourself. I remember when I was a brand new consultant, I mean brand new, my first week, and my director said the most important thing that you needed to do for yourself was to change how you think. She said, you need to change how you think. She said, I can teach you the things to do to be successful, but if you don't change how you think, it doesn't matter what you learn. If you don't choose to change how you think. And so I inhaled that, because like I said in my last presentation, I made a decision, whatever they said, I was going to do it. And so how can you help change how you think? And how can you help change how your consultants think? Because one of the most important things is not just changing how you think and talk to yourself, but teaching your consultants how to change how they think and talk to themselves. So first of all, you need to be aware that how you talk to yourself is either going to make or break you, and has to this point. And the same with your consultants. So what you learn here tonight, you need to teach your people. So how can I help change how I think, or how I talk to myself, and how can I help my consultants change how they talk to themselves? Well, first of all, make them aware. Make them aware from some of this information tonight. Secondly, one of the things I always had going was a book club. They were required to buy a motivational book and read it. Read 15 minutes a day. And then they brought their book to the meeting on Monday, and I would have a couple of people share what they'd learned from their book. And they became the inspirational part at my meeting. And every 6 weeks, we had a book club luncheon where they brought their book out. They came out. They brought as many guests as they wanted. We talked about what they'd learned in their book, the level of success they were having. I used to point out who was doing great. I would give certificates out. I would talk about the company and how they could move ahead and the level of success because the guests were there, and share things about the company. We would have lunch. I would have every guest there fill in a little gift coupon for a draw. So I had their name, address, and phone number. I gave everyone who left, every guest who left, recruiting literature. And I told everyone I would follow up and answer any questions they had. But the truth is, I followed up to book interviews. The third thing I did is every time I spoke with one of my people on the phone, I shared something great about her. And I would say to her, you know, before I hang up the phone, Kathy, you know me well enough, that I want to share one word that best describes you today to me. And I would share one word: fabulous, fantastic, incredible, people, builder, whatever. And the other thing that I would do, the fourth thing, is I taught my people to have an affirmation, and I had an affirmation. And I taught them to have a simple affirmation. Could be anything they wanted. I am incredible. I'm a big-time booker. I'm the best recruiter in the company. I'm a big-time winner. Didn't matter what it was, but they had to have an affirmation. And I wanted them to say it every day as many times as they had to. The other thing I used to do is about once every month, I would have writing paper and I would pass it out and have each one write a letter to themselves about the great qualities they had. Write a letter to themselves about the great qualities they had. And they would fold it up and put it in an envelope with their name, address, phone number, postal code. They would seal it and they would pass it to someone else. And that person was required to mail it the next day. Was required to mail it the next day. And I wanted them to have their letters with them every week at the meeting. And I'd pick one or two people and have them stand up and read their letter. It was powerful for helping them change how they talk to themselves, helping them change how they thought about themselves. And it was powerful for building them up, because that's what we do. We build people up. And at every special training I had, pace setters, moving on up class, go red class, go director class, whatever it was, at the end of every one of those, we would go around the room and I would have each person say one thing great about themselves. One thing great about themselves. Because the better you feel, the better you do. The better they feel, the better they do. Remember, our job is to build ourselves up, and it has to do with what our self-talk is, big time. And our job is to build them up. The difference between success and failure is what you're thinking and saying to yourself. What you're thinking and saying to yourself. How many people agree with that? If you're on mute, come off mute. But how many people agree with that?
Yes, definitely. Agree.
Yes.
Really is. Really is. You have to guard your thoughts more than you guard your bank account. And never allow yourself to say something to yourself that you wouldn't let someone else say to you. And teach your people the same thing.
I'll be down in a minute.
All right. You can go down in a minute. everything that I shared with you, you can share with your people. That's the great thing. That's the great thing. You know, you need to decide today to overcome your serious self-talk blockage. Serious self-talk blockage. You have a choice to make your business harder or easier by what you say to yourself. The more you tell yourself how easy something is, the easier it will actually seem. It's been studied. It's been studied. We end up doing or not doing things according to our inner voice, to our inner voice and our inner thoughts. I want to show you something that skyrocketed my success and many of my people. And it worked. And let me just say this, that I'm going to show you how you can make $700 and never leave your house. And it'll take you about 5 minutes. Are you interested in learning how?
Yeah.
And you can teach this to your people. And you can make $2,800 a week doing it 4 times and never leaving your house. So in 20 minutes, you can make $2,800. Now, this works because I believed it worked. Remember? It's all according to what you tell yourself. Some people that would look at this or I'd share it with them would never use it because they decided it doesn't work. But yet, it built me a great business. And it's called the cash game. I'm going to hold it up. It's called the cash game. Now, you can get this by going on my Legacy download page on my website, going on my Legacy download page. And it says, earn $100 cash in just 7 days. In just 7 days. It's simple, it says. Pass this page around to friends, relatives, people you work with, anyone you know, and have them look through the lookbook and order any Mary Kay products that they would like to order of their choice. And for every $20 someone spends, their name goes on a line. So if someone spent $50, their line goes on twice, name goes on twice, right? I asked somebody, I said, if someone spent $50, how many times does their name go on the line? They said 3 times. I went, you're not smart enough to play this game. It goes on twice, right? So for every $20, so if they spent $30, their name goes on once. And they have a week. And then I get it back from them. And I give them $100 cash or $170 in free Mary Kay product. And I could get people really excited about this, especially people that use the product or people that wanted the product would like to have $170 worth of product for nothing. But let me just say that if you have 20 people times 20 lines, how much is that? 20 people times $20.
400.
400. But the average is $35. Some people spend 50, some people spend 20, some people spend 70. The average is 35. So 20 times 35 is $700. And I haven't left the house. So I used to like to have 2 of these out a week. So that was an average of $1,400. Now here's what you need to know. Every person on there is a booking. They have to see you to get their product. It's a booking. So I would call every person on there. And I even have a script as to what to say. So when you pick up this cash game, there's even a script as to what to say. And it says, hi, I'm Angie Stoker, a Mary Kay Beauty Consultant. Thank you so much for purchasing product from Kathy and I'm calling to make arrangements to deliver your products. I can drop them off Tuesday or Thursday night. When would be best for you? They say Thursday. One of the things to know is people will normally pick the last thing you said. So if you want to say Tuesday, say I can drop it by Monday or Tuesday. When would be best for you? People normally pick the last thing you say because that's what they remember. And then I say, great, will you be home all night Tuesday night? And she says, yes. I say, wonderful. When I drop the product by, I'm going to do a real quick pampering session, and I'll leave you with some samples. I'm really looking forward to meeting you. See you Tuesday. The script is right on there. You'll be able to read it. How many like that?
I love it. I love it.
So here's what you need to know is if you have someone that's stuck and has no bookings, they just need to go into work and pass 2 of these out, and they'll have about 30 names to call that have to see them. And it has the script to say, so they can book 30 appointments. And so can you. And even if you only gave 1 out a week and had 15 bookings from it, that's 60 bookings a month. Not counting another thing, not turning those second facials into classes, not counting another thing. So what happens is you just turn a delivery into an on-the-go appointment, And this is really great to use at interviews because you can show people how they can make about $700 and never leave their home. And if they gave 2 out, you know, for people that don't have a lot of time, I say it's not a problem. Can you find 5 minutes to explain something to someone? And they say, yeah. I say, I can show you how to make $700 or how to do $700 in sales in 5 minutes and never leave your home. And if you do 2 a week, it'll take you 10 minutes. And it's $1,400 you've sold, not counting the bookings. So this is used for a lot of things, the cash game. But remember how I started this conversation, and that is about what you choose to say to yourself, your self-talk. So because I believed it would work, it worked. And I used to get excited about it, and I used to tell myself, I'm going to do a minimum of $1,400 in my cash game this week. I'm going to have a minimum of 25 bookings from my cash game. And I would say it over and over and over and over again. I wouldn't allow any self-doubt in there. And I was like that with every part of my business because remember, thoughts equal feeling and feeling equals activity. Thoughts equal feeling and feeling equals activity. You need to write that down and stick it where you can see it somewhere every day. If you want your feelings to be more positive, then your thoughts need to be more positive. Then the result activity is going to be more positive. Remember, we end up doing or not doing things according to our inner voice or inner thought. Let me explain that when you are working on something like booking classes or booking interviews, you might say to yourself or think, you know, this is hard, or I'm just not good at it. Or you may read about all the different ways you could look silly or mess up. Or you may even be concerned about what people may think about you. This is all negative self-talk. It's all negative thoughts, which leaves you in an anxious and worried state. It doesn't leave you in an upbeat, good mood. It leaves you in a very low mood. Those kind of thoughts, that self-defeating talk. And take a moment and think about your business and what you might dread about it. All because you built it up in your mind to be something worse or harder than it really is. than it really is. Let's face it, people are doing this and becoming multimillionaires with the same kit that you have. People are becoming successful very quickly. We have people that haven't even come into your company yet that'll walk across stage at seminar as DIQs. Why? Because of what they're saying to themselves. What they're saying to themselves, what they're thinking and saying to themselves. You know, with that negative self-talk, before long you find yourself overwhelmed or exhausted and you haven't even done anything. You haven't even done anything. So it's time to take control of your thoughts and what you're saying to yourself. You know, I asked my director what she would suggest, and I was in the business about 10 days, and I asked her what she would suggest, the one best piece of advice that she could share with me. And she said, Angie, go buy a motivational book and start reading it. And when that's finished, get another one. And when that's finished, get another one. And never stop reading. And I said to her, because I was so negative, I said, oh, I don't read. And she said, well, that's a shame. She said, because I know you want to be successful. And I said, yes, I do. She said, well, successful people are readers. She said, if you want to go up, you need to grow up and you need to start reading, she said. And that was the best advice I'd ever received. Why is it so important to be doing that? I can't hear anybody.
Oh,
I know we're not all vegetables on this phone, right? We're not
It changes our thinking. Changes our thinking.
It change your thinking and what you're saying to yourself. To change
It motivates you.
and what you're saying to yourself. Yeah. But it only motivates you if you change your thinking. Otherwise, it demotivates you, right? Unless your thinking is upbeat, you won't be motivated.
yeah.
So it changes your thinking to be upbeat. And it changes you to have better self-talk. So therefore, you become motivated. It also teaches you what successful people do. So that was the best advice I ever received, and it changed my life and my business for the better, for the better. You know, I remember hearing that if you wanted to be a record breaker, there was 4 things you needed to do, and they were very simple. And I thought, man, I'm going to write these down. The first thing was to get a motivational book and start reading. The second was to have a goal and write it down every day in the corner of your date book. And why is that so important? Anybody know why it's so important to write the goal down every day?
So it's in front of you every day.
It's in front of you every day. Anything else?
You don't forget what your goal is. It reminds you of it.
It reminds you of it. Anything else? Whatever you give attention to, whatever you give energy to, you draw it to you. It's the way the universe is designed.
Solidifies it.
Good or bad, yes, and it fortifies it. But whatever you give energy to, give attention to, you draw it to you. The third thing was to create 2 ways where you could get good at booking. Find 2 booking approaches that you could use to build your business. There's actually 4. selective date booking, tentative date booking, second facial booking, and conversational booking. And I'm going to add one more to that, and that would be referrals. Referrals. And that cash game is referrals, is what it is. It's referrals. And the fourth thing is once you've mastered those three little things, then you go on to the fourth thing, where you're helping others do the same thing. You're helping others do the same thing that made you successful. You know, a director that's successful will have a unit that's successful.
Yep.
The speed of the leader is the speed of the game. A director that is unsuccessful will have a unit that's unsuccessful. And why is that? Why is that? Why would a successful director have a successful unit? And an unsuccessful director have an unsuccessful unit?
Leading by example.
Leading by example? That's true, because instead of her being, let me tell you how to be successful, stand up there on Monday night and tell them, and she's not doing it, and they can see it because of the applause, she shows them how to do it because she's out doing it. It's a monkey see, monkey do business, right? The other thing is a successful director is successful because her self-talk is so successful.
Yes.
In every area of her life and her business. She never allows herself to think in a way that's going to hold her back in life, let alone in business. And so therefore, she's passed that on to her people. She's changed how she thinks, and she's helped change how they think. It's like I said, remember, there are women becoming extremely successful every day, doing the same thing that you're doing. And your thought needs to be, and your self-talk needs to be, if she can do it, then you can do it too, because you can. You know, I have a little song that I used to sing to myself about booking, and I taught it to my people. And it went, booking is easy, booking is fun. I can book anyone under the sun. And we used to sing that over and over again at our meetings. Booking is easy, booking is fun. I can book anyone under the sun. And I used to get them to write it down and stick it somewhere where they could see it every day. And then we used to go, recruiting is easy, recruiting is fun. I can recruit anyone under the sun. Same thing, over and over again. Remember, you're the leader. You're the leader. And a leader that has positive self-talk has a unit that has positive self-talk. Because I want to tell you, if you think training your people with the best training is going to make them successful, you are wrong. Doesn't matter. You have to change what they're saying to themselves so that they're open to receive the training and use it. Open to receive the training and use it. You need to get out of your head and into your business today. Out of your head. Write that down. Get out of my head and into my business. There's 3 guidelines that I want to share with you that is going to give you a powerful, powerful business. Number 1, think success. Don't think anything other. Think success. Don't ever think failure. When you face a difficult situation, think, I'm going to win. I'm going to win this. Not, I'll probably lose. When you see someone else who's doing really well, don't compare yourself to that person. Just make a decision. I'm equal to the best. I'm equal to the best. I am never outclassed. I used to say to myself that all the time when I would watch the top people. I'm equal to my best. I am never outclassed. Let your master thought be, I will succeed. I will succeed. And dominate your thinking process. Thinking success conditions your mind to create plans that produce success. And I know, because I did it. And I learned how to do it from reading the books and educating myself. Number 2, remind yourself regularly that you are better than you think you are. That's why my affirmation was, I am a big time winner. I am making big things happen. I am the top person. I am number 1. You know, successful people are not superheroes. They're not superwomen. Success does not require intellect or super intellect. Nor is there anything mystical or magical about success. Successful people, I'm here to tell you, are just ordinary folks who have learned the secrets to success by being good students and applied it. They're just ordinary folks who have developed belief in themselves with positive self-talk. And they have learned to never, I say never, sell themselves short. And number 3, believe big. If you're going to believe anything, believe big. I remember somebody asked me one time when I was brand new, and all you could earn back then was either a pink Buick or a pink Cadillac. And someone said, I said, my goal is to earn a car. And they said, what car are you going after? And I said, a Buick. And they said, great. And then I went to a workshop that Saturday where the same thing came up. And my national was training. And she said, for you that are talking about going after a Buick, she said, here's what I want to say. If you aren't aiming for the highest level, you're aiming too low. Because what does that say about you if you don't aim for the highest level? What are you telling yourself, right? What are you telling yourself? The size of your success is determined by the size of your thinking and self-talk. Think little goals and expect little achievement. Think big goals and win big success. Remember this as well. Big ideas and big plans are often easier. They're certainly not any more difficult than small ideas and small plans. How big we choose to think determines the size of our accomplishments. There's no other way around it. No other way around it. You know, for me, I chose to view success as if it were just around the corner. And I was willing to work to achieve it. I didn't have the patience. I told myself I didn't have the patience to keep doing the same thing day in and day out, year in and year out, year in and year out. You know, I believe you carry a showcase for as long as you choose to carry a showcase. And for the 38 years I was in Mary Kay, I carried a showcase for less than 4 years. And how come for less than 4 years? Anybody know why? Because I didn't need to have it anymore. Because I was people building. I'd create a unit so large that I had enough people always to work with and build offspring. And how did that happen? Because that was my belief system. That's what I chose to tell myself, right? So I chose to view success as if it were right around the corner, and I was willing to do the work to achieve it. But I realized that the work, the real life-changing work, involved building people. That's where the life-changing work really came in. And that's where I wanted to be. And the only way to be there is to build a big unit and learn how to build people. You know, the work energized me, and it really did energize me. And the more I worked, the better I got at doing what I did. The more I did the work, the better I got. The more I booked appointments and held them, the better I got at booking and holding appointments. The more interviews I held, the better I got at holding interviews. The more people I brought into my unit, the better I got at training. The more people I had in my unit, the better I got at building them. It's all about bigger being better. So, number one, I chose to do that. Number two, I wrote my goal down every day. Now, my goal was to have 26 new people in my unit every month. That was my goal when I became a director. 26 new people. My goal when I was a consultant was to do $1,000 weeks 38 years ago. And guess what? I did a $1,000 week my very first week in the business. Many of you that knew my story have heard that. 38 years ago, when the 5 steps were only $38, and the 5 steps are now about $190, which is 5 times more. Never underestimate what I'm sharing with you tonight. Your success and the level of it and the speed of it is going to have to do with what you say to yourself. With what you say to yourself over and over and over and over again. So I wrote my goal down every day in the corner of my date book. Number 3, I had a positive affirmation I said to myself over and over and over and over again. Number 4, I read a motivational book every 15 minutes a day. Sometimes I've read longer. First thing in the morning. Number 5, I made sure I brought 1 or 2 consultants with me to every appointment that I held. And why? Because it's the best place to train people. On-the-job training. On-the-job training. They learned why I earned. And I had them bring a scribbler and a pen with them. And then when it came to the close, I said to them, this is the most important part of the appointment. It's called the close. And I want you to watch me, the words I say to sell the product, the words I say to book second facials into classes, the words I say to give out recruiting literature, and the words I say about the company called the recruiting invitation. Things I share about the company. I want you to write those down as I say them. And I would close people one-on-one. And then I'd go and have coffee with the one or two consultants I brought with me, and I would go over the close and answer any questions, because I knew that that was the most important part of the appointment, was the close. It's the most important part of the interview, is the close. So I taught my people the same thing. I taught my team, my unit, the same thing, that helped them become a record-breaking unit and helped them become a record-breaking national area. I taught them what I knew worked. I didn't tie up any energy in teaching things that I didn't think they needed to know. And sometimes we're just wasting time teaching things that we know. Well, the truth is, do they need to know the things that you know? Or do you need to learn things so you can teach them how to be successful? Remember, here's a news alert. Here's a news alert. You will multiply people that you bring into the business to be just like you. You will multiply people that you bring into the business to be just like you. Because you're going to teach them what you know. And if you don't know what you need to know, then you need to find that information. And the fact is, you should probably take my training program that's coming up called The Power of the Dream, or The Roadmap to Success. Because if you think you learn a lot in these free webinars, trust me, when you sign on for my webinars, get ready. Get ready. Anyway, I want to share this with you. That language, your language can change your life. The way we talk doesn't only affect us in the moment, it can seep into our subconscious and become internalized, changing our thoughts and behavior in the long term. If you are consistently talking to yourself in a way that's holding you back, or if you're consistently talking to yourself in a way that's going to move you forward, you internalize those thoughts and the behavior that follows, In real everyday terms, the way we talk to ourselves and others instantly shapes how you perceive life, and how you perceive your business. And the good news is you have the power, you have the control to get off the seesaw, Your business is waiting on you to show up. Your business is waiting on you to show up with the thoughts and language that will propel you forward. One word at a time. One word at a time. You can make epic success happen for you. One improved self-talk word at a time. How we talk and think is the very foundation that everything is built on, good or bad. That everything is built on, good or bad. Start to refer to any problems you have as opportunities. I never called something a problem. It was an opportunity. And get rid of the word try. Get rid of that word. Trying is lying. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. Talk in terms of I am, or I accept, or I embrace when you're going to do something. Such as, I am going to achieve my goal of. I'm going to achieve my goal of. Or I accept my challenge of doing $1,000 week or a $3,000 week. Or I embrace my abundant success I embrace my abundant success, or I embrace the greatness that I am becoming. But they are assertive and powerful, accomplishing words, is what they are. You know, some of you may have heard this story, many of you may not, and I just want you to bear with me for those that haven't. But you need to know that I have come a long way in this business, and so have many people in Mary Kay, and grown a long way, and you can too. And it doesn't have to take long. My ascension to success was rapid. You know, I was in the business 11 months till I won my first Cadillac, right? And just over 2 years when I was the number 2 director in the company. And then when I rebuilt my business after having a breakdown from personal issues, I went from nowhere to national in 2.5 years, 13 unit members to national in 2.5 years. So what I knew in the beginning worked, and I just did the same thing the second time. But I want to share with you a story of a consultant I knew that used to go to her meeting on Monday night and sit at the back of the room. And she was friendly, but she looked at the floor all the time. She had no confidence at all. And one time, her director called out her name to go up front and get a ribbon. And the consultant did not get out of her chair. And so the director just left it alone and continued on with the meeting. But at the end of the meeting, the director went down and said to the consultant, I called your name out for your ribbon. And the consultant said, oh yeah, I heard you. And the director said, well, you didn't come down front. And the consultant said, no, I didn't. And I'll never be able to. And the director said, well, why? And the consultant said, when you called out my name, she said, I felt like I was going to have a heart attack if I stood up. She said, I was so nervous and so afraid. She said, my legs would have been like jello. They wouldn't have carried me down front. She said, I'll never be able to go down front. And the director, who was very wise, said to her, you're going to receive many ribbons. What do you want me to do with them? And the consultant said, if you could give them to me when nobody else is around. Can you imagine how pitiful a consultant is that? And so the director used to give that consultant ribbons at the end of the meeting just before she left. But one day the director called the consultant and said, I need you to speak at the meeting on Monday night for 2 minutes. And I need you to just tell people what you're doing. And the consultant said, well, all I'm doing is what you taught me to do. He said, well, I want you to tell them that. And the consultant hung up the phone and thought, well, I could do that. She could do that. But come the Monday meeting, Monday, the day of the meeting, the consultant hadn't slept in 2 days. And she went to the director's home and she rang the doorbell. And the director invited her in, and the consultant sat down, and the director said, how are you? And at that point, the consultant cried. And she said, I cannot speak at the meeting tonight. And the director said, well, why not? And the consultant said, because I wouldn't know what to say. And the director said, well, why don't you just speak how you feel? Speak how you think. And the consultant said, I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I think. She said, all of my life, I have lived it in a way that other people wanted me to. And she said, I've been somebody's wife, somebody's mother, somebody's friend, somebody's neighbor, somebody's sister. And she said, I've been more concerned about what people thought about me than what I thought about me. And I don't know how I feel. And the director said, well, when you open your mouth tonight, whatever you say, that's how you feel. And that was the end of it. The consultant left, and she called her sister and her mother, and they came to the meeting with her that night. And when the director called out her name, the direct consultant's name, to come down front to speak, the consultant said her heart felt like it was jumping right out of her chest like a cartoon character, like she could see it. And she said she was so nervous that she could hear her heartbeat. And she got up with her jelly legs and walked down front and spoke a few words. And when she was finished, her sister jumped up and down. You'd have thought that this woman had won a gold medal. And her mother sat in the chair and cried because she knew what a big deal this was for her daughter. And at the end of the meeting, the director went down and sat with them. And she squeezed the consultant's hand and she said, I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. And the consultant looked at the director and she said, you know, I so much would like to be like you. I so much would like to be able to do what you do. And the director said, I want you to know that you can do what I do. You can make a difference in many people's lives if you really want to. And I can show you how. And that consultant was me. And many of you know that to be true because many of you have been here long enough to have heard my director tell that story. You know, my self-worth was so low. And of course, my self-talk was paralyzing. That's why I felt like that. You know, I was so negative and miserable going through life thinking that that was as good as it was ever going to be, until I understood the control I had, the control we all had, until I understood the power of self-talk and the power of thoughts and self-talk. I recommend you all get a book called UNFU star K. Yourself. That's what it's called. UNFU star K. It's a star sign. Unfunk Yourself. Written by Gary John Bishop. It will change your life. It will change your life. You know, I know that from what I've shared, I think you got it. I think you understand the power of self-talk and how to use it as a force for good in your life and in your business, and how to teach your consultants the same. I look forward to you unleashing the kind of you that the world has yet to see, and the kind of business success you deserve when you take control of your self-talk. And remember, all you have to do is kind of straighten that crown of self-talk on your head and show the world the queen you really are, because you are. You know, my new program that I talked about last night, and I want to share a little bit of it with you tonight. It's two programs, really. And I want to show you how inaction breeds doubt and fear, and action breeds confidence. And I want to show you how to get out and get busy. And I want you, more than anything else, to know that you can conquer fear, that you can conquer fear and become your best self. My program for managers is called The Possible Dream. It's a 3-month program. Every 2 weeks for an hour webinar with me. There's also, you receive many blogs from me. There's also a page dedicated just to the program. And the Possible Dream, as I mentioned, is for managers. And it starts Wednesday, April 17th at 7 p.m. Every second Wednesday, same time. And it's $79.95. And it will show you how to create an empowered business. And it will direct you and inspire you and teach you and move you to becoming effective in all areas of the business. The Possible Dream is a reference guide for becoming an empowered entrepreneur. I want to show you how to reach for your greatest self and achieve at the highest levels. And the Possible Dream will give you the power to acquire and implement success principles. This program is an opportunity for you to hear, learn, and successfully implement things such as getting out of your own mind and into your business, how to motivate yourself to excellence, how to help others achieve, how to discover the simplest techniques of successful leaders, how to improve in all areas of your business, how to inspire others to move up, simple and effective training programs, how to develop your skills in recruiting, how to interact positively and powerfully. And there's another 15 things that I'm going to be covering. And you go to my website at www.angiestoker.com and it will tell you all about it. It will tell you all about it and show you how to get registered. And the next program I'm doing is for those that are not in management now, but want to be. It is called Roadmap for Success. And this comprehensive program is for middle management and sales consultants and is designed to give you the skills for success and the roadmap to success. If you want your business to be more successful, you have to make it happen. And Roadmap to Success can help you. And it'll share with you how to take action, how to take charge, how to get organized, the 4 steps for successful sales, the words to say to overcome objections, how to guarantee facials and classes holding, how to get 100 referrals, a minimum of 100 referrals each and every month, how to conquer fear, how to book joyfully and easily, how to be a dream doer, how to become courageous and confident, and another 15 things. You know, your life and your happiness and your success are in your hands. And you just need to learn some of the technique and the tools and how to apply it. You can become motivated and embrace your potential because it all lies within you and this program. And if you go to my website, you can read all about that as well. You know, I'm passionate about these programs because I put them together. And let me show you in your business how to flourish and live a courageous, authentic life and business. These programs will be a dose of high octane for explosive success and much straight talk and technique that will help you chase down your success and be inspired with the tools to actually do the dreams. You know, dream doing is what I'm all about. Many of you know that. I have made my dreams come true and taught thousands of people also. And I want to show you because dream doing is what I'm about. And you will be too when you share in this program. So decide what one you are going to take. Roadmap to Success is for those that are not in management yet, and that's $59.95. And the Power of the Possible Dream is for those that are in management, $79.95. So get on my website and get registered. I will tell you this, some of you have already registered, but the first 50 to register, are going to receive a drop dead, any of you that know me know that I don't get anything I don't love, a drop dead gorgeous gift, the first 50, and a personal note from me. But the other thing I'm going to send you is the one magic word of success, what it is, why it is magical, and how it works. The first 50 are going to receive that. So I look forward to unleashing your success through my program. And so when you hang up the phone, go onto my website and read about the possible dream or the roadmap to success and decide which one you want to take and get yourself registered. Does anyone have anything they want to say? Anything they want to say? Anything they want to ask? Anything they want to share?
I just want to say, Angie, that I really appreciate the reminder that we have so much control, and it begins with our thoughts. There are things in our business that we don't have control over, but when we have control over our thoughts, those things come together. And also the fact that what you teach is so duplicatable.
It's practical. It's practical and simple. Everything you will learn from me, especially in these programs, is practical and simple technique designed to work for you, but also designed to work for others that you may bring into the business as well. Because the idea is not just for you to have record-breaking success,
right,
but for your people also. Yeah. And realize, you know, for me to be number one, not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times, but 26 times and 25 years in a row, number one, it's because my people were successful. And how did that happen? Because I had the tips, the tools, the know-how, the advice, the strategies to make it so. And those are the things that I teach in my programs. And it'll make a big difference for you.
Thank you.
And yes, like you mentioned, Wendy, you have so much control over what you choose to think, and as a result, what will happen from that. But just having control over your thoughts is a big part, but the other thing is knowing what to do when you have control over your thoughts is the other thing. And my belief is 2 things. People are not where they want to be, number one, because of what they choose to say to themselves, and number 2, because they really don't know how to get to where they're going. They don't know how to do it. And so that's why I teach the things that I teach. You will never hang up from me without being inspired, feeling hopeful, and number 3, at least having 1 or 2 really good ideas to grow your business in all areas. I can promise you that. Anybody else have anything they want to contribute? Like I said, I know you're not vegetables. There's a lot of you. Oh, Stephanie just wrote, thank you for sharing your experience with us and encourage us to be better. Well, that's what my passion is. My passion, and it always has been. That's why I brought so many people up and I became successful. It was just, I wasn't thinking about me. I was just passionate about empowering other people. And I've taken this passion to my programs as what I've done. And I can tell you, you will not ever get better training, better advice, better know-how, or simpler techniques and I can pass on to you. And Diane wrote, thank you so much, Angie. Well, thank you, Deanne. Thank you, Deanne. So go to my website, www.angiestoker.com, read about these programs, be one of the first 50, so I can send you out this drop dead gorgeous gift. You're going to love it. You're going to be able to show it to everyone. And the note that I'm going to write you, and I'm going to, only with the top 50, share with you the one magic word of success, what it is, why it is, and how it works. Other than that, I enjoyed every minute. I hope you did too. Look forward to having on our last free webinar, which is on Sunday night at 7:30, the last free webinar. And hopefully you'll sign on for my programs so that we can build a relationship over the next 3 months. God bless you all, and great success to the courageous, wonderful, audacious, fabulous women you are. God bless you.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you.